Hey, someone sent me Buzz Rossfield's number. Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Day.Sports. We're right on Origin Eve, one of the best days in the calendar as a rugby league fan. I can't believe how quickly it has come up. And if you're new here, make sure you go like, subscribe, follow on all the social media. Appreciate all the support as usual. And if you are returning, you know that I'm just going to chat for the next 20, 30 odd minutes or so about rugby league sports. Whatever I'm really feeling, I'm going to timestamp it all, go suss it all out. Appreciate it as always. Now, before we do jump into everything, I just want to send my thoughts out for Jai Arrow, his family, friends, anyone that's involved with him. We all heard the news of his diagnosis. It is shattering. I've been thinking about it a lot for the last week. I'm not really going to say too much. It's not my place, obviously, to say anything or anything along those lines, but, the entire rugby league community is right behind you, Jai. All right, let's get straight in, rip the Band-Aid off into a little bit of Origin talk. I can't believe, again, that we're already here. So, big news out of the Blues camp. So, Mitchy Moses, gone. He's not going to be playing. I forgot if it was hamstring, calf, whatever it is, but he's out for a, significant amount of time. Birdo comes in with his Burton bombs, and Ethan Strange looks to be making his Origin debut there at 6. So if you're a Queensland fan like I am, now I will say we'd like to beat them full strength. Don't get me wrong, and they're definitely not at full strength at this stage, but Mitchy Moses has been pretty handy when it comes to Origin, so not exactly not a terrible thing for a Queensland fan compared to some young kid on debut. Anyway, obviously injury is terrible. I hope he heals up and is there for the second, third game, whatever it might be. But yeah, at this stage, that's a blow to the old Origin camp there. There's been a lot of chat around selections, who's in, who's out, but it's all going to happen tonight. We're going to find out anyway. I was listening to Hello Sport earlier today, and they made a good point that there just hasn't been the same amount of hype or noise or energy probably around these games. They've kind of just snuck up out of nowhere, and I do feel that a little bit as well. We are missing that spectacle, everyone chatting about it, everyone getting involved, and I'm not 100% sure what's going on there, whether it's from the marketing standpoint, players, they're not able to speak to the media as much, or what's actually happening there. I feel like part of it actually ties in a little bit to Magic Round and the Bye Round. Maybe they've got a little bit to do with it, they're a little bit too close. Maybe it's because New South Wales have just basically given up at this stage for getting flogged every single year and basically never been in for a sniff. They're just it's not even a competition anymore. It's a little bit hard to say. It's one of those things, but I feel like with Magic Round being so close to it, Magic Round kind of really is a peak, I'd say, of the calendar year of rugby league before things die off during the bye rounds. It's a lot of rugby league to take on, and then it tends to generally there's Origin, obviously those games, and after that it kind of goes a little bit and then gets exciting again come final time. And this is coming from somebody who watches just about every other game, and even then you get a little bit tired of it. You're like, whoa, this is a lot going on. So then you got Origin to care about and all sorts of stuff, but might as well get into my actual predictions for the game. So, obviously, you're not exactly going to get the most, the straight analysis, and that's not what I want to give you. It's going to be bias as all fuck, and it's obviously going to be Queensland. I'm going to go 1-12 in this one. I feel like it is a bit of a flip of a coin. The teams line up fairly different, I suppose, to a lot of other years. Again, we've already kind of spoken about the selections, but it is going to be interesting. I feel like New South Wales, if there's a game they're going to fail, it's actually going to be at home. They'll probably snag Melbourne or something like that, and come up and get absolutely pumped in Queensland. I'm not actually going to any of the games this year, though, so I've probably been, I'd like to say either since 22 or 23. I was definitely there for the Go Dozer. Was that 22? Whenever that was at Suncorp Stadium, I should probably remember. I've basically been every other year. But no, looking at this game, I feel like it is a bit of trial by fire for a few of these players. You got Jojo Fafita. There's a lot of players making debuts. Sammy Walker, though, the big one. A lot of people are just expecting just mad traffic to be coming at him. But whoever his outside back is, whoever his second rower, either Ruben Cotter or Capel, don't know which side they're playing on. I suppose it'd probably be Cotter, I'd imagine, but he's just going to have to be on projection duty, just running people over, smashing them all night. Or Paddy Carrigan, I suppose, if he comes on. But very interested to see how Maxi Plath's going to go. I feel like he is built for this sort of stuff. It was only going to be a matter of time before he made his entrance into the Origin arena. I still probably would have had Paddy over him, but I'm sure there's some sort of plan there. And again, there are some very scary guys on New South Wales. Adam Fanua-Blake, Hamole, Katoni Staggs, I feel like is really going to grab this opportunity with two hands and just fucking run with it as well. Like, I don't know. I saw some article today and I genuinely don't know if it was like real or not, but it was saying like Katoni Staggs basically like loves Queensland, obviously bleeds Brisbane, this and that. And I'm like, that makes sense. That makes sense why he's so good. Tech, he's a Queenslander deep down there in heart. Yeah, and there's always going to be the talk, particularly around Nathan Cleary, depending on how he's going to go, especially with no Mitchell Moses. The whole, is he going to dominate Origin? Is this going to happen? It's like, bro, it's still Cleary. It's still terrifying. Again, though, so good to see the banana farmer himself, Tommy Flegler, coming back into this team after so many years out. Big Tino with him as well. Like, the front rowers that we have are going to smash New South Wales. Like, yes, you got Adam Fanua-Blake and Big Mitchie from across the ditch, but you just don't have that dog like the Queenslanders do. So I feel like they're going to be able to lay the groundwork well and truly. I just hope this game's not going to be a blowout like we have seen in so many other games this season with the 6 again and this, that, and everything. Like, Origin's always intense, fast, hectic, but we don't need to see that. Like, I'm hoping it's a real coin flip, real close sort of stuff, like a 12-8, edgiest seat, back and forth rugby league sort of contest. Like, that's what I'm hoping for, and I feel like that's what we are going to get there as well. But yeah, I'm so keen for it. And for New South Wales, having Tolu Kola there, he is... I've been thinking about this a little bit recently with a lot of, like, Manly success and how they're going. They've got, like, 2 or 3 players that essentially, if they break into the back line, like, it will make they get this much room and they're gone. And we've seen that with Kola so many times. It gives me a little bit of peace. It helps me sleep at night knowing that we've got the hammer there that can actually track him down in a foot race if Kola busts through. Like, that makes me feel a little better. I suppose that goes both ways, but I reckon the hammer's got him. I reckon the hammer would be faster than Kola. So we might see an opportunity tomorrow night. One of them might make a break and it could be on. It could be on for young and old. Now, I have been thinking about this a little bit. If you could select any player from the other team to come in, who would you be picking? So if you're from Queensland, pick someone from New South Wales, you pick somebody from Queensland. If you could just swap one of those players, you've got a few options there. A few do come to my mind. I'd be having a nice little look at Tony Staggs, Payne Haas if he was in the team, Latrell Mitchell, but it'd be so hard to pass up on Nathan Cleary. Like, I love to see Sammy Walker make his debut, but Nathan Cleary, if there's a guy that you could pick, the Iceman would be so good to go in at number 7. I reckon, put a maroon jersey on him. He might have a bit of Queensland get up and go. And I stoked for it. But yeah, again, obviously Queensland 1-12, and I feel like the hammer is going to be crossing over anytime in this one. All right, quick little review, recap of round 12. It was a bye round, and again, it kind of is one of those ones like after Magic round, you've seen a lot of rugby league. Broncos weren't playing. There wasn't really much to get excited for. I didn't watch all these games, so I'll kind of glance over the ones that I had one eye on or, didn't really get around too much. Fins up over the Raiders, got that one. I got 4 out of 5, so it wasn't a terrible week. Storm let me down massively, but we'll get to them in a moment. Fins up over the Raiders. I thought it could be serious dramas when Jed Stewart, he just trotted over in like the first minute of the game. I was like, fuck, this could be an absolute demolishing, but it wasn't to be at all. Fins up, they've been playing well, and even with some of their players out, like they've got the depth there, particularly in their backs. They were happy days. Corey Horsburgh scored one of the most bizarre random tries that I've seen. Ball bounces twice off the crossbar. You got Dolphins players going up for it, and the Horsburgh just goes, thank you very much, scores right on the post. You're like, yeah, of all the people to get the ball, Horsburgh puts it down and gets the meat pie. And then you got Ray Stone as well. There was a play that he broke through. I don't even think he knew where he was. Wasn't even meant to get the ball. Somehow he's ended up with it in his hands. His players are basically pointing him like, go that way, Ray. He's not used to being in try-scoring territory. And he crossed over, which I absolutely love to see. But yeah, it's been real bad for the Milk there at their home ground. I forgot what the stats is. It's like 5 out of 6 like home games they've lost or something recently. Like it is not good. It was an absolute fortress last year and has not been the case. Storm, they choke another halftime lead. This game just hurt me. It was one of those ones, they're up at halftime and you're like, oh yeah, Storm will put them to bed. They got a bit going on, and I just didn't have any confidence at all. It was not feeling good, and Doggies just grabbed a hold of them in the second half and literally didn't even give him a sniff in the second half. It never once in the second half looked like the Storm were actually going to like hold the lead and win that game. You're just like, it's a matter of when. Burton and Bronson Cherry just fucking pounded them down that right edge of theirs, while the Doggies left edge. They just ran an absolute rugby league train on them. It was ridiculous at that point. And yeah, went and got the thing done, scored probably 2 in the last 10 minutes or whatever, and just went, yeah, good night, see you later. So that was the only one that I got wrong. Very disappointing from the Storm. Obviously, they were missing a few players, but it's still like, bro, come on, you probably should have beat the Doggies in that one. Waz, they give it the Dragons a nice little touch up. It wasn't as bad as I probably imagined this game was going to be, and I feel like it has been like that for the Dragons the last few weeks, where you're like, yeah, they're going to get like 700 points put on them, but they've managed to just like, I wouldn't say stay in the game, but I feel like we've seen like minuscule slight improvements each week. Their fans were still not happy. They've lost literally 5 billion games in a row, so you can completely understand, you know, why they wouldn't be happy about it. But the Warriors, like, they're just rolling. Tiare Martin coming in, scoring a double, happy days. Fosball, didn't watch this one at all. They just survived. I basically was just keeping an eye on the live score. Very low scoring. Apparently it was absolutely bucketing down. Don't know what was going on there. A few players that were missing. Titans, I don't know. They're still just sniffing around. They're just right there. They're not winning games, but they're close enough to give teams a scare and coming within 2 points of Fosballs. Like, not a terrible effort at all, even where they're at this stage. But yeah, Manly just managed to get it done. And the Cowboys, they beat the Rabbitohs. So I had this one on the background while I was playing poker, so I can't say I was like fucking 100% dialed into this one. But basically every single time I was looking at, the Cowboys were crossing over the line, and that's basically the way that it went. The Rabbitohs, don't know really what's going on with them. Yes, there's a few outs and such, but the Cowboys, they got the same thing. Origin guys out, Dearden out. You know, you name it, and it's all happening there for the Cowboys. But up north, they're always going to be hard to beat, so they managed to get it done. All right, we might as well get into round 13 predictions. I feel like this is a relatively short and sweet podcast this week because I haven't written a whole lot of notes. I usually have a little bit more content, I suppose, planned out than I actually do. But here we are, we move on. All right, Sharpies versus Manly. I got Manly 1-12 because it is on a Friday night. There's no Thursday night scaries in this one. Sharkies, they love it there at Ocean Protect Stadium or whatever the bloody hell they got going on there, where there's a lot of water. They play well at home. I swear that's like the only place that they can win. And you know what? They still haven't won 3 in a row, so I'm not going to be backing them. Yes, they pumped those useless Bulldogs at Magic Round, but I feel like they're going to be well and truly up against it in Fosball. So particularly, I think like a lot of their Origin players have all been listed in reserve. It'll be tough for them to back up. So I've got a lot of faith in Fosball, basically. Like, yes, they had a little bit of a narrow win. Yes, the Sharks are coming off a bye, but you know, you got to believe in something, and I believe in Fosball at this stage. Sharks, like, essentially, well, I remember when I was writing the notes for this, like, they had a bloody red-hot foreign team coming into this, basically full strength. But it was this afternoon. Nico Hines out, gone. I forgot what it was, calf or hamstring. There's always a hamstring going at some stage, but so he's a massive out for them. Like, I feel like there's still like a relatively good sniff in this game. Peru comes in instead of Hines, so it will be interesting. But yeah, I like Fosball in this. I do like it. They're just rolling on some sort of confidence. Like, I swear I still look at their team list and it's like nothing screaming at me, nothing like ridiculous, especially when you look at, like, you know, on paper coming up against the Sharks. They're not exactly, they shouldn't be a walk in the park, but I feel like for Fosball it is going to be a walk in the park. So 1-12 for Manly, and I'm going to go with, is he actually playing? Yes, Jason Saab anytime. All right, moving on. What else we got? This one is the first game on Saturday. This one is at McDonald Jones. We got Knights versus Eels. I'm going to go with the Knights 13+ in this one. Like, the Eels, they got some backs. They got some people coming back in. Iongi is a big notable one for them that I see back on this team list. But I like what the Knights are about at the moment. I like what they're doing. I like particularly if Kalen Ponga backs up in this one. But just looking at them, like, it's just all gas, no breaks, and I love to see it. They've been going out there and absolutely pumping teams. So yeah, I feel like particularly if they get Ponga back, it's going to be a rough one. So, and Mitchy Moses is out for the Eels, and that is huge because I swear, like, they're not exactly, like, you know, lighting the world on fire at this stage, but without Mitchy Moses, it just goes right off a cliff. And yeah, again, the Knights have been absolutely humming. So I feel like they're going to give them a little bit of a pumping. And I'm going to go with Greggy Marju in this one to score any time because Greg is hot at the moment. He is absolutely hot, and I need him to get me all the Supercoach points in the world. All right, next. What do we got next? We have got the West Tigers versus the Doggies, bro. I'm going with Tigers 1-12. The Tigers, they got a few back in here. Dream Buller, absolutely massive. Twal, I forgot if he played. I think he got injured at Magic Game, whatever. Twal's definitely listed in there. Appy Coruscant, though, he's huge back for them. Like, they have been missing him dearly in the last few weeks. And then, yeah, Doggies as well. Like, I feel like even though the Dogs won, I think the Tigers are going to give them quite a few dramas at this stage. I feel like their forward pack as well is going to absolutely dominate them. You got Terrell May there, like the bloke, he could bloody carry his entire team up Mount Everest, and they're not going to pick him for State of Origin at this stage. So I feel like he's going to be going super hard. But those couple of players coming back in, yes, Doggies, they might be rolling off a little bit of confidence. They might be rolling around a little bit of mojo after beating the Storm. But yeah, I feel like the Tigers, they've been in a little bit of a rough patch of form. So getting all these big dogs back is going to make a world of difference for them. And I'm going to go with the sneaky, happy, Appy Coruscant to get over anytime. Okay, onwards and upwards. Storm Roosters. I'm going Roosters 1-12. I have absolutely no faith in Storm after last week. I feel like they've just been skating by the last few weeks, and they're coming up with the Roosters. They are third, I believe, at the moment. So, whether or not players are going to be backing up for Origin, this is on the Saturday, so I'd imagine they probably should be, late game Saturday. I feel like they'd all be backing up. They've been listed and everything like that, so they should definitely be there. And yeah, I reckon the left edge of the Roosters is going to run an absolute train on them. Nick Meaney in the last few weeks, I don't know if they're swapping him over at all. He's been having a bad time. I feel like teams, Cherry and Burton, Taylor May a few weeks before that, like they've just been pounding the right edge of the Storm. So unless they do something miraculous in this like week off to, plug that hole up, particularly with a team like the Roosters and their left edge that they've got, it is going to be a real bad time. I see Gus Crichton just running over people left, right, and centre. The middles for the Roosters, like I feel like what gives so many teams like massive dramas. Nafau White, Lindsay, Space Jam Collins, like you got all these big boppers in there. And I feel like that's like been a real like disappointing part of Storm season. They've lost a lot of their big boys. They're not able to go toe to toe with these teams. And yeah, Gussie Crichton's going to run over and screw himself a meat pie. Oh, this is a fun next game. We've got Brisbane Broncos hosting the Dragons here at Suncorp Stadium Sunday afternoon. I really wish I was getting along to this one. I would like to see the slaughter, the Dragons losing their 5,000th game in a row, but unfortunately can't get along to it. But yeah, basically Broncos 13 plus is the only way that I can put it. I managed to pick up this amazing jersey on Monday. Just having a little scroll, having a little doom scroll. I think it was Sunday night, Facebook Marketplace, and I see this blue jersey, and I'm like, hang on a tick. And I look into it more, the Cyril Connell jersey. I'm like, these things don't exist. They are rarer than hen's teeth. Trying to buy one, particularly a size that fits, this one's a large. Trying to find one of these is near impossible. Like, they just do not come up for sale, particularly one that's an actual legit one. There's been a million knockoffs, but I actually found one that's legit. So, straight in the collection. Thank you very much for coming. I'm stoked. Like, I was driving home after picking it up, just kind of stunned. I was like, I can't believe I actually have this jersey. But anyway, back to it. If we don't absolutely pump the Dragons, there's something wrong. I will cry. It will be the kiss of death for our season, I think, if we go down to the Dragons. And it does scare me a little bit because I'm like, they will get one eventually. It's just who's it going to be? Is it going to be a team that's later in the season fighting for their spot in the 8 and the Dragons are just going to ruin their season? Like, I can see that coming, but I swear to Christ, we lose to the Dragons. Yeah, if we lose to them, I will genuinely go missing for a month. I'll have to bury my sand because I've already been chatting a lot of shit this week. So yeah, hopefully the boys can go out there and back it up, but there are some absolutely massive ins for the Broncos. Haas is back. Staggs is back. Who else is back? Brenny Puakora. Like, the team is starting to come back together again. But yeah, you would not want to be a Dragons fan seeing that Broncos team list come out. Like, over all weeks for Haas to return, he comes back this week. You'd just be going, oh no. Like, they got a good young forward pack, don't get me wrong, but look, you ain't no Haas, brother. You're going to be running over people left, right, and centre. I'm very excited, though, as we start getting all these players back from injury. Like, I feel like Billy Walters is going to be back sooner rather than later from what they've kind of teased as well. Walsh is going to be completely fit and firing, didn't have to go play Origin. We got all of our boys back. Like, it should be an utter domination. Bit of Sunday Arvo. That's the only thing. Broncos daylight Sunday Arvos historically haven't always been the most amazing. Obviously, last year was probably more of a strength, but previously we're a little bit scared of daylight. But yeah, again, should be more than enough to absolutely fist the Dragons, and I'm going to go Walsh anytime in this one. All right, second last game, Raiders versus Cows. I'm going Cows 1-12, but I'm not confident at all. I don't know. It's a weird one. Raiders, again, have not been great at home this season at all. Cowboys have been on a little bit of a hot streak. They've been a little bit hot, and it's always when you're thinking they're hot, they'll drop off for a game and go fuck stuff up. But, they've been able to beat the Roosters. They've been able to beat the Bunnies. So, I don't know. They're in a bit of form at this stage. I thought things were really going to take a turn after Tommy Dearden dropped out of the side. But, Big Jake Clifford, the big red dog, he's been playing amazing. I think it's Sutton or whatever his name is. Sorry, I don't know it. But, yeah, he's been killing it. I feel like they're going to be okay in this one. The Milk, I don't know. It's always tricky going down there to the ACT to Canberra in a cold place. Very long way from the far north of the wall of Townsville. So, yeah, it will be very interesting. Real flip of the coin kind of game of this one. Like I said, I'm not really going into it screaming confidence in the Cowboys. But, yeah, don't let me down here, boys. I'd like to see it, and I'm going with Tommy Chester to get it done anytime. All right, last game of the round. This would almost have to be one of the best games this season, but I'd say definitely game of the round. Panthers versus Warriors. Now, I'm going up the Waz 1-12 in this. I'm so red hot on the Warriors at the moment. I love it. Yes, Penrith are looking untouchable. I think their Origin players have been named in the Reggie, so that'll be interesting. I dare say surely they're going to be playing, but it's like how much, do they really care too much if they lose at this stage? Probably not, but, I'd like to see them get up and list their entire team to play the Warriors. So, very exciting for this one, 1 versus 2. But, yeah, I really like the Warriors in this point. This is their opportunity to really put their foot down as big dogs in this competition. There's so much hype behind them. All the New Zealand's behind them. A lot of people love the Warriors. And they finally get a chance to be like, yeah, no, we're the fucking real deal this season. We're not just floating around in the top 4. We're an actual, I'm a contender, is basically what I want to see out of them. I think they're a good shot as well, just with their forward pack. I would dare say, I rate their forward pack as the best in the comp this season. It is ridiculous. The size, the aggression, the power, the intensity has just skittled other teams. Match that with a few skillful halves and backs, and it's just good night, Irene, and that's basically how it's gone. And I feel like they're the type of team, they've got it. They've got the stock to go toe-to-toe with Penrith. Penrith are going to have to be on here. Yes, they got Nathan Cleary who can just turn a game on a dime, but they're going to have to go toe-to-toe with the Warriors, and I don't know. I reckon the Warriors are going to well and truly come out on top with this one. This is their chance to run with the big dogs, so I'm keen to see it, so I'm going to back the Waz in on this one, and I'm going to go with Dallin Watene-Zelezniak to score anytime. And speaking of the Warriors, actually, horrible bloody news about Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Seems to have done his ACL again, so that puts him out for the rest of this season. So that's his NRL career essentially all but over there at the Warriors. So bittersweet way for him to wrap things up. He's had an incredible career, don't get me wrong. So all the best to Roger. I believe he's still going to be going over to the Super League and playing over there. But yeah, terrible way to end the season. The Warriors definitely would have liked to have had him there, particularly, it looks like they're going to go well and truly into the finals, but that's footy sometimes, unfortunately. But yeah, that's basically it for this week. A little bit short and sweet, I think. Fucking go Queensland, and catch you guys next week.